to make our final dish for the day, and it's going to be cornbread, and we all love cornbread. Now, to start with cornbread, you start with corn. So you have to grow it in the summertime. But you can't eat all that corn, so you dry it, and then it gets really, really hard. So you have to pull the leaves back, and that's called shucking, okay? And that comes right off. Those will burn very nicely, or you can take the silks out and get rid of those. But the shucks here, the husks, those can go in your mattress, and you will have one of the loudest mattresses you have ever tried to sleep on. But it is sort of fluffy. So those are very useful. Now your corn, you take and you have to get it off the cob, which is no easy feat. Fortunately, there is a hand tool that you can use, but I don't have that today. So we're just going to take it off like that. See? Once you get it started, it's not so bad. It does fly everywhere, but that's okay. And you'll eventually get it all off. And it will look like this. And then, you don't want to eat that. That'll break your teeth. You can soak it in water overnight and then eat it. But we ground ours up, and now it looks like this. It's called cornmeal. There's another grain. It's called wheat. And when you grind it up, it looks like this. And we call it flour. So we're going to use both of those in our cornbread. So what we have to do is we need to measure out a cup of flour. And a cup of cornmeal. There's lots of things you can do with cornmeal. You can make pancakes. You can make little fried, like cornmeal donuts. They're good. You can bread your chicken or your fish in it, but we're making cornbread. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 2. Now, sugar has to be grated. It has to be, grated in order to get it to be like that. That's what we're used to. But this is how sugar used to come. It was hard and it was wrapped in paper. It was so precious that it was kept under lock and key. We have some nice white sugar right there. And then we need to have 4 teaspoons. Now 4 teaspoons is a tablespoon and a teaspoon. And this is baking powder. Used to be in the olden days, before baking powder came along, what they used to make their cornbread rise was, believe it or not, ashes from the fireplace. But this has lots of big blocky pieces in it. You don't want to eat those. So they would take the ash and they would sift it, and then it would be very, very fine. And they would put that in their bread, their biscuits, their cornbread, and that would make it rise. Okay, our liquids. We need 1 egg. And once we get our egg in there with the shell, we are not going to throw those shells away. We will take those later on, we'll crumple them up, and we'll put them back out for our chickens to eat, and then their shells will be nice and strong. So what have I got? I've got the flour, the meal, the sugar, the eggs. I've got 2 more things I need to add. Some oil. And some milk. Remember where our milk came from? That's right. Okay. Then what we do is we mix that all together. Where's my Dutch oven? Is that it? Okay. So we mix this up. Make sure the egg gets broken. You don't want to mix it too fast, too much. Just a little, just enough to moisten everything. I'll put the ash back. And we're going to cook the cornbread in a Dutch oven like we did the apples. This one's slightly smaller. We're going to put that special lid on, the one that has the lip on it. And if you notice, it has the legs. But I'm not going to put this down on the brick hearth. I don't have to. What I'm going to do is save coals, and I'm going to save space by putting this directly on top of the big Dutch oven that has your apples in it. That way the coals that are on the top will become the coals that are underneath. But I still need to put coals on top of the cornbread. Oh good, I got some more coals. And then both of these can cook at the same time. Okay, there we go. He'll go out. Now, it's too soon for me to be showing you this, but I'm going to do it now. And that is, how do you look to see if your food is done? How do you reach down there and open that hot, heavy lid without burning yourself or spilling ashes in your food? So you use a very special tool. It's called a lid lifter. And what you do is you very carefully put that underneath that little lid and you lift straight up. That's important. And then you can look and see. No, not yet. And then you can put it back down again. So let's see if the cornbread is done. That's always interesting to know. Okay, I'll get my lid lifter and I will carefully lift up. Ooh, see the steam? Oh, it's done. It looks done. So I'm just going to put that lid down here where it's safely out of the way and I won't step on it. And then I'll put my lid lifter down, get my hot pad, get my cornbread,